everyone. Weekend's almost here. It's exciting. We have our last workshop for today. We have Neo here from Artiva doing a workshop on Artiva's path to decentralization. Hope that you all enjoy this. And Neo, thank you for taking the time to do this. And with that being said, let's get started.
Cool. Thanks for the intro. So ours is pre-recorded, and then we're going to do a Q&A after. So I'm just sharing my screen right now and then starting the presentation. Everyone, I'm Neo, and today I'm presenting Artiva's path to decentralization. So yeah, let's just get into it. What is Artiva currently? So Artiva is a no-code platform builder for NFTs. Basically, what we help you with is we deploy a site for you, and then we bundle in NFT tools that you want to use, such as Zora for the marketplace, and then you can import any NFT contracts from your wallet currently. So some of the positive things about Artiva is you can exit the product without losing your marketplace functionality or your assets. That basically means if you're running an auction through an Artiva site and suddenly you don't want to use Artiva anymore, you can basically share that link on Zora or on another website that is backed by the Zora protocol. And then all of your assets continue to stay in your wallet, so there's no worry about us basically rugging your content. So another positive, it's very easy to get started and get set up. Pretty much just need a wallet, and takes about 5 minutes to create a platform, and it's super easy to customize and just get started. It's kind of a little shot of our branding, and the idea is that you're owning your own NFT platform. You can customize it the way you want to, and you don't need any code to get started. Some issues that we're having right now. So the Artiva team has full control of the API and database. So we control the platform data. We could edit platforms if we wanted to be malicious about it. We could censor people from the API. Users cannot fully exit the Artiva product, so you lose your platform metadata, which is basically like your logo, your background images, the style of your platform. And then you also lose the actual curation, which is what NFTs are part of what platform. So there's no censorship resistance. Like I said, we could censor someone from the API. And all of our network effects are currently building in our database, which is not really what you want in Web3. Another issue is the product is closed source because it relies on our API currently. And that basically just means there's less innovation going on because everything is coming top down from the team and not bottoms up from the community. And last issue is users do not own any part of Artiva. So that's just misaligned incentives. This is like a little meme of Milton from Office Space saying Artiva is not really decentralized. So how can we change that? Well, we can look at what other products are doing, see what we can take, and see what we can leave from them. So taking a look at Mirror, they do some really cool stuff, publishing all of their content to Arweave. So that makes it pretty cheap for Mirror to fund anyone that's publishing on their platform. It means the network effects are building on a more open system, so anyone can query the data from Arweave, find posts from Mirror, and read it without going through the Mirror API. Any publication can exit with all their post data still on Arweave, so you don't need to specifically go through Mirror. And it's super easy to get started. You don't need to spend any gas or anything to publish content to Mirror. Some of the downsides, though, is the publication data is off-chain. So you don't get that relationship of who is part of what publication, and you don't get to know what content is posted under which publication, just looking at the Arweave data. So that's kind of a bit of a limitation for builders that want to build something on Mirror. Can't exactly recreate the Mirror client from scratch. This is probably a limitation of using Arweave and when they launched at the time, which was like late 2020, when L2s weren't really production ready. So I think we can kind of take some of the stuff that Mirror has been doing really well and kind of build on top of that as well. So we have similar requirements. We want users to be able to easily and cheaply add content to a platform. We want content to be published on an open system where anyone can query this data. But Artiva has a stronger need for the platform level data to be open. Part of this is just like, I think the technology is ready for this because L2s are now production ready. If someone wants to self-host an Artiva website, they should be able to have their full platform data and not need to hit an Artiva API or store on some kind of database. Or if someone wants to build a whole product around hosting the Artiva client for people, they should be able to do that. It's going to help a lot with client innovation as well. And we can do some really cool things with on-chain. So as you can see, we are kind of thinking a lot more about how can we transition from being super off-chain but easy to use to being a lot ecosystem of client builders, people building interesting stuff with the open data that we want to be publishing. Protocol. It means that the content and the metadata of a platform will always be accessible, always be uncensorable. Like we just talked about, it'll make it so people can self-host, people can build hosted services. We don't have to run the structure of Artiva. We don't have to be the only host for the client. Users can switch between clients fluidly with all of their data intact. That means full platform metadata, their content, their platform roles, pretty much everything you would need to recreate a platform from scratch. We can build an open source client with this since we won't rely on any APIs anymore. And then we can utilize the data in unique ways. And this means that it inherently builds a stronger social graph between NFTs, not just the ones that they're purchasing and have in their wallet and minting, but things they just think look interesting. So curation is a signal for someone saying like they like this NFT, you might not want to purchase it, you might just want to show it off. And it kind of creates more of a graph between what people think is interesting, what kind of platforms the content lives under. And I think we can make some really cool social applications and stuff with that. And then people can also make clients for different content types, platform discovery, and it really just turns the creativity up a notch for what you can do working with the Artiva data. And then taking publishing on-chain really makes things interesting because basically how the protocol works right now is you can set certain addresses to be able to publish content onto a platform. So that opens up the gateway to not just wallets being publishers of a platform, but smart contracts publishing to a platform. So then with that, you can do token gated publishing. You can take snapshots of addresses that you want to be able to publish and use a Merkle tree. You can do interesting experiments, such as one I've been thinking about recently called prop house publishing, where a community can submit content they want to be on a platform and token holders can vote on what content makes it into the platform. Very similar to Noun's prop house, but using that to publish content to a platform. And then it also opens the door to unique clients that'll interface with the publishing protocol, such as like NFT explorers, where you can add in content to your platform directly, or platform explorer, where you can like retweet content from other platforms and put it onto yours, or just very in-depth designers to update platform metadata to be exactly how you want your platform to look like. So now you can see the gears are turning, and there's some really cool ideas of what could be built with this system. A couple of trade-offs. We are experimenting with how many gas fees people would need to pay for this, and how hosted services could possibly use meta transactions to make the process a lot smoother. We are researching how to use the non-economic device keys that Mirror's been using, where you can update content that actually creating a whole new content digest. So I think that will save a lot with gas fees. We're going to be building this on layer 2, which means we won't have the massive gas costs on layer 1. And then the bulk of the data, the content, will live on Arweave. And we'll be posting either like content URIs or content digests to the protocol, making stuff a lot cheaper too. So what does actual interaction with the protocol look like? So we can pull up a demo of the new client real quick. Before we pull up that demo, we can give a quick overview of the new client. So all of the data is sourced from the smart contract and pulled from Arweave. It's going to be open source, so anyone can remix it. People can self-host it or build hosting services, and it's very modular. So we can have themes that'll change the look and feel of the client without you having to dig in and tinker with all the source code. We're also building adapters so we can support many different NFT marketplaces, very specific rendering strategies for unique NFTs, and basically platform data sources like NFT history and things like that. So let's dive into the demo. This is a new walkthrough of the Artiva client. So it's basically a complete upgrade to our front end. This may look kind of similar to current Artiva sites, but this is actually a kind of developer preview of what we're going to be upgrading to. So as you can see, it kind of looks similar to a normal Artiva site. It's got a little bit of branding up top here. You can connect your wallet. There's a list of assets that are curated on the platform. Kind of like click into these and see what the assets look like. Go back. But the one big change is this is not coming from one code base anymore. This is actually a theme that sits on top of the Artiva client and tells the site how to render out the actual content on here. So if we check out some of the code base here, you can see in the theme folder I have these different pages. So it's currently what the home page looks like, and you get a context with the posts and some platform information. So you can build the navigation from that. You can add in these platform logo, description, title, cover image, and then you can map over the posts to generate something like a post preview, where we can see, look at the NFT preview specifically. We pass in like an NFT object, and you can tell us exactly how you want your site to be rendered out. So this is more from a developer side. They can go in and they can change all the little details about their site and create a theme. It's exactly how they want. But if you're not a developer, you can basically choose from pre-created themes that will be made from either the Artiva community, or you can hire a developer to build you a theme that you can then use on your own site. So you can see if we switch out, let's go, we're using theme 2 here, so let's go and use theme 1 and see what that looks like. It's starting it up, it's building it. Actually, wrong thing. There we go. Once theme 2 is done building, you can see this has an actual cover image. See the NFTs are a lot bigger here. And all of this will be customizable using straight React. You'll be able to bundle this together, put it on, create a theme repository, theme marketplace. It's gonna be a lot of cool options for themes. So now for the actual site data, we can head into the admin panel to check out some the new designer. So this will allow you to like preview your site, change the little metadata settings or custom properties that the theme has specified that you can change. So we can add like, see we're changing this description here. And then from the bottom here, it's kind of covered up by the controls, but you'll be able to change your theme and add in one via GitHub link or via a zip folder or something like that. So that's pretty much all about themes. And then for the actual content data, this looks essentially the same as NFTs that have been posted to Artiva, but there's one major difference. All this data is coming from a smart contract, and all of the content is uploaded on the smart contract and Arweave. So you can see on our subgraph, we're pulling some content from a platform. You can see all of these different like content IDs that we have here. And you can just use those IDs in an Arweave query and then get back the actual data that's being shown on the platform here. So you can see we have this whole list of the different assets that are displaying on our platform, and anyone will be able to come in, use the subgraph and query for platform data by other platforms or users or however you want to display that data within your app. So we can come to the curation page here. So you can see we have all of our currently selected assets. Let's refresh it just to make sure we have the latest. So you can see it shows us what's selected so far. Say we want to add in another moonshot bot. So we want to add in some more generative pieces, Pepe, and Sasha. All we have to do here is click save. So right now it's uploading the content to Arweave. And then after it's done uploading to Arweave, we'll get this little transaction pop up here, and we can actually place this data on chain. You can see since we're using layer 2, it's going to cost a lot less and confirm the transaction a lot quicker. So most of the time when you're going to be using this interface, it's going to be via a hosted service, which will likely be using meta transactions. So you probably won't even see any pop-up or any interaction or any payment to add on content to the platform. That'll all be handled by the hosted service, and we'll likely be using the Ethereum gas station to make it a lot easier if you decide you want to build a hosted service. So now we can come back, do a refresh. You can see we added in those new assets here. You can click into them and So yeah, this is a basic overview of the new Artiva client. So main takeaways are it's going to be extremely flexible from the design point of view. It's going to be super easy to build new themes as a developer. We're going to give you a lot of great tools so you don't really have to query all the data and do all this crazier stuff. You're just going to be able to utilize like context and be able to plug in like easy HTML and CSS where you want to. And then users will be able to use their theme, use those themes pretty easily. And then all platform data is going to be backed by Arweave and smart contracts. So you as a developer will be able to build on to either the open source client that we're going to be releasing, or build your own client, or utilize the Artiva data in some kind of app you're building, whether you want curations of NFTs, or you just want to see relationships between users, platforms, and the NFTs they think are interesting. It'll all be open, all be public, and all be accessible to whoever wants to build with it. So that demo is looking pretty good. I think we have a nice idea of what we want the client to look like. Still developing exactly how the protocol is going to work and exactly how many transactions you'll have to do to post content to the network. Still very much in development, but I think we have something pretty interesting. And then the last question is, how can we create sustainable protocol and client development? And I think one super interesting idea that we've been toying with recently is auctioning the protocol provenance via NFTs. Basically how Nouns has been doing it, where the DAO funds proposals that benefit the protocol ecosystem. We see this as building new clients, some of those publishing modules that we talked about a bit before, new themes that anyone will be able to use, marketing, hosted services, paying for meta transactions for people to set up a new platform without having to use any gas. And we're taking a lot of inspiration from the Nouns ecosystem. I think they have something really special with what they've built. And we want to kind of carry that into a new domain and see if that can be used to build something more product oriented. So in summary, our path to decentralization is going to be a new on-chain publishing protocol, a new open source client that anyone can fork, remix, build on top of, and then a Noun style DAO that's going to fund development of new protocols, new clients, and essentially propagating the protocol and the brand to more people. So thank you so much for watching this presentation, and we'll now move on to the Q&A part of the section.
Okay, so that was pretty much the whoops.
Hey everyone.
That was pretty much the whole presentation there. So if we have any questions, yeah, we can go ahead and do that. If not, we can cut it early.
Yeah, I think we can actually just end this here for today.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Neokry, for doing this workshop. That was super interesting to watch. Yeah, the recording will be available on YouTube for hackers to reference. And that being said, thank you so much once again for taking the time to do this for Metabolism.